Hey guys, love a song here. Sorry, it's been ages again. Life is just busy and lots of things going on and it's just crazy. So, not today's Monday, bank holiday in the UK. And not the weekend just been, but the weekend before that, I went to Milton Keynes for my first stitching retreat. It was amazing. I think I understand why people just keep going to them after they've been to their first one, because they are addicting. So I've got lots to show you guys too, because my friend Amy from New Zealand brought some stuff over to the UK with her for me, because if you are a crafting person, you will know that when you're trying to pack your whole life into a suitcase, if you're realistic, you don't pack your crafting stuff, or very few of them. So it's great to have a bit more of my stash with me. I say a bit, it's not all of it. So the first things I'm going to show you is what she brought back. Well, what she brought over from my stash in New Zealand for me. It's quite good to see some of it. So, the first two things I'll show you is miniature doll houses. I think I brought one over with me. They're a bit more weighty than cross-stitch stuff, and so there was two she brought over for me. Can't wait to get started on them. I've got to finish the one I'm working on first. So there is this one, and the one in the box is, I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, that one. This blue one here. So that's this one here. That's the one I'm making. I have already made this one. My sister's got it. But yeah, it is this one I'm making. And the other one is, I really don't like how they show more than one on the box. It's really confusing. So it's this one, pink one. So that's what the outside of it looks like. That's what the inside looks like. I do have the other one, which is this blue one. But it's still in New Zealand. But this is the one I thought I'd bring over. So, if you end up deciding, hey, that looks real fun, I get mine off AliExpress. I type in miniature doll houses. There are two different sizes that I'm aware of. These are the bigger size, so if I show you, these are the walls and things, so they're a lot bigger. The other size are the tins that I have showed in a previous video. Hold on, I do have the one I'm working on right here, so I will quickly show you the smaller one. I promise it's going to be like the first 5 minutes about doll houses, and then we'll go into cross stitch. It's just, they'd be very short videos if I was doing videos solely on them, so that's why I'm mixing it in with this. I do know that a lot of us who craft do a bunch of things, so it's just something a little bit different. Sorry, see my back, sorry. So, this is the smaller size. Eee, little tin. I am building bits inside it at the moment. So yeah, that's the size comparison. And that's the one I'm doing at the moment. But yeah, if you do decide you want to start doing them, I suggest do the slightly bigger ones first. And then if you think, sweet, these aren't as fiddly as I thought, then go down to the tins and tell me what you think, because they are fiddly, but I have fun making them. And all of them that I've seen seem to have lights, even the bigger ones. So that's really cool. I changed things around in mine. On the bigger size for the floor, it's what looks like wooden planks for the floorboards. Floorboards, that's the word I was looking for. But it's just a picture and you glue it down on the wood. I saw a video on YouTube and I went one step further and bought some really thin wood that you could easily cut, made my own floorboards, and then used proper wood stain, and so it looked really like my real floorboards. So I did take it one step further. Sometimes you can change the colours if you don't like the way they're painted. I don't know if I will. I'm not a massive fan of pink, so maybe I'll change the outside on this. Yeah, I'm not sure yet. I'll figure it out when I start it, because that's going to be a wee way around the track, down the track. So that is my miniature dollhouse ones. I'll just move them out of the way. Right, cross stitch that she brought over for me from my stash. Okay, so we have the Dimensions Wolf kit from the Gold Collection. Initially I bought it. I can't remember whether I bought it or got given it. Maybe I bought it. Yeah, I think I bought it ages ago. And thought, oh yeah, that looks simple. And then I opened it, and I don't think it's quite as small or as simple as I thought it was. I think I got this somewhere near the beginning when I started cross stitching. It's fine now. I mean, I'm working on a tilt and craft, which is almost level of a heaven and earth design. So it's fine, but again, I don't like working on too many things that are the same size. Initially, I was a one project at a time girl. Thanks to the influence of all the Facebook pages and FlossTube and everything else, I'm not anymore, but I do try and work on different sizes. So I've got my Tilt and Craft, which is the biggest one. I think it's 42 pages. I haven't done any work on that for ages. I am planning on doing some work today after this, hopefully, on it, fingers crossed. Then I have my Quotes to Live By. I'd class that as a medium size. And then I've got my Mel Hill one. I wouldn't class that as small, but it's still smaller. And then I'm going to start on something else for my friend. And then I've got my Into the Jungle border that I need to finish on that, because my friend is changing, she's doing some lettering on it for me. So I can't finish it until she's doing that. She's having trouble fitting it all in. But I do thank you so much, Pam, for helping me sort that out, because I wouldn't have a clue. So I'm really thankful that you're doing that for me, because I sat down and looked at it and tried, and I just went, nope, can't figure this out. I've been told graphing paper, but it's not my cup of tea. I can change colours and I can slightly change something, but this involved completely changing the lettering and putting a lot more letters in there than there was originally, and fitting, and then there's all these leaves and stuff in the border as well that I'd have to try and fit around the letters, and it's not something I want to begin with for learning how to do that. And it is for my brother's birthday, which is the 10th of May. I am going to have to send it to New Zealand when I've finished it. Organise it to go to my framer in New Zealand. He's framed all my other cross stitches. I think he's done an amazing job. So that's, yeah, he's doing that for me. If I can organise it. So it will be late. I haven't even finished stitching it, and next week's like the 10th. Today's the 5th, so it's 5 days away. But it's still good intentions. And no one in New Zealand kind of expects anything more than happy birthday from me, because just shipping prices and everything. So they're pretty accepting of that, which is nice. Anyway, so there is that one. Yes, I do have a wolf obsession, and I do love this, so it will be stitched. Right. I have, my mum, this wasn't actually in my stash. My mum found it for me from a second-hand garage sale. And she saw it and she knew she had to get it for me. So it's called Beautiful Dreamer, designed by Diane, I don't know, I would have said Dylan, but there's no L in it. I've never seen D-Y-A-N. But there's the name, even though it's back to front. Just looking at this now, I've just noticed that it was a kit originally. Someone's obviously done it, I would assume, or lost the rest of it. I'm not sure what happened. And they've just passed the pattern on. Looking at it, it does look like it's probably been stitched. I'd like to think so anyway. It goes on 14 count Aida. I've just realised, oh thank goodness, I suddenly went, it better have the numbers of the floss in it, because some of them don't, but it does. It's got all the numbers in here. And if you wanted to do it on 16 or 18 count, it's also got how big you want the fabric. Actually, the instructions in this is really good. Looking at this, there is 16 pages for the design. It's from the artwork of Canadian artist Michael Pate, 2007. And customer service is Ontario, Canada. So I'm not sure how this ended up in New Zealand. But it looks like originally it was bought in Canada from Custom Crafts, both spelt with a K, not a C. So that'll explain why I've never seen or heard of any of these designs. I think it would have an interesting story. It's come from Canada somehow. So yeah, interesting story on this one. It's if it started in Canada, got to New Zealand, and now it's in the UK, it's a very well travelled book. Anyway, yeah, printed in Canada. So there's that. And my mum did find me something else at the garage sale. Ooh, try and get that light off. So it's cool. It's Peter Cull. It's a dimension, or it says dimensions. It's called Night Eyes. Looking at this, I don't know. Someone may have to correct me on this, but are they the same brand? They're both dimensions. Did they just change their look? Honestly, I don't know. I'd be interested to know if it was the same and they've just changed their look. It's got 2003 on it though. And this one is, I can't even see a year on this. Gold Collection Petites, maybe it was a special edition. set thing. But I can't. Oh, 2013. Personally, this one looked older than 2003. I thought it might have been older than that, but I'm not sure if they're the same or not. Someone let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to know. Oh, I think I've just answered my own question. It's here again. So, I don't really have a preference in, like, brand or who makes them or anything, but somehow I've got at least 3 dimensions in my stash, which is interesting. Anyway, I really liked this. The fabric is gorgeous. I love stitching old houses. It's one of the things I love, stitching old Victorian kind of medieval looking houses. I have seen this stitched up a few times on the Facebook stitching pages. A lot of people say that I think people have struggled to finish it. Some people, the outcome always looks amazing, and I've seen people stitch it on a different colour fabric too because it's quite dark, because it is a kit. I'm stitching on black at the moment, and I certainly wouldn't want to change the colour of the fabric personally, because that's one of the reasons why I love this piece. It's night. Like, how many houses... I think this is the only house that I've seen with a background where it's night rather than day. That's one of the reasons why I love it. Makes it a bit different. Yeah, see, all that are French knots. They're not going to be French knots with me stitching it, sorry, but I hate them. I will pick some kind of silvery bead, I think, which I think will make it look a bit different, and I think I'll like the look as well. It looks like some of the flowers are French knots as well. There's a lot more French knots in this than I thought there might have been. That'll be interesting. Anyway, I do love this piece, and I wouldn't change any of the colours. The only thing I'd change is beads instead of French knots, I think. There is a lot of French knots in this. Yay! So there's that one. This one. This, I think it was another garage sale, secondhand sale thing. I found it before I came here, and I was like, I have to take that to the UK with me. Why would I not take that to the UK with me? And then I forgot about it. So it came to the UK, just not with me initially. Yeah. Again, the old houses thing, love it. Village England, and it's the Cotswold Village. Honestly, haven't been there. If it looks anything like these houses, I have to go there. That's a given. It's so cute. 14 count version. So it's 14 count. It's by Derwent Water Designs. Again, not one I've heard of. It looks quite old. The threads are marked with anchor, so obviously it's anchor threads. That'll be interesting. It says the kit's been adapted from the original 18 count to 14 count, and it likes to tell you that they have given you extra threads required to do on 14 count instead of 18. I can't find a year on this. Maybe I think I bought this online actually. Maybe I bought it from the UK got sent to New Zealand, and then I brought it back. I think that might have been the case. I definitely got it online, but I can't remember whether I got it sent from the UK or someone had it in New Zealand or Australia or America. I can't remember. I bought it online though. I have that funny feeling that it's actually come from the UK. Looking at some of this, actually, oh no, some of this is tent stitch. I haven't done a lot of tent stitch. I know some people prefer it, and I know lots do it in the background. I just haven't stitched one with tent stitch. So this is going to be a new thing for me. I always like doing new things in a stitch, bar French knots. So yeah, no, this will be a new thing for me. I do take preference to DMC thread, but I don't have an issue with anchor. I know some people prefer anchor. I'll stitch it and I'll see if I notice a difference, to be honest. I know there's a difference in the blacks. But, okay, so here's another one. It's DMC. Like, it's a DMC chart. Right. A whole lot of latte. This one I'm stitching for my mother. Yes, so that's what I'm stitching for Mum. So that's one of the reasons why I got it sent here. Because if I stitch it here, she can't see what I'm stitching. Okay, so there is, I bought this one in New Zealand off someone in the post. It's just printed on the fabric. It's got a bit of cardboard in the back just to keep it straight. It's cute. There are no numbers. I just have to match. I believe, I'm not sure. I've got something like this and I did normal cross stitch on it. I don't think you're supposed to, but I did it anyway. Am I supposed to use wool? Do I cross stitch it? Let me know if you've worked on one of these before, because I do think that they'll work differently. And also some of those colours are not directly over crosses, so yeah. If you know how I'm supposed to stitch on that, let me know. Some kind of, I'd say, tapestry. It's got needlecraft written on the top of it. I don't know. And then the other one I got is this one from home. I have two that are a little bit similar. I can't remember whether this was the one my sister liked or she preferred the other one, but I'm going to stitch it. I will say now, there's a chance that two of these kits that I've shown you are copies. I bought them years and years ago when I first started cross stitching. I didn't know any better. Yeah, I'm not going to say where they came from. I am also not going to not stitch them. Like, while I realise all the copyright issues, I didn't know then. I still spent money on them in a reasonable amount. I know better now, but I'm not just going to waste them. I'll still stitch them. So yeah, lesson learned. I well and truly know. And yeah, I definitely don't do it anymore. I haven't done it since I was aware of it. It's not something that ever crossed my mind until I found out that people did it, and I went, oh, well, at least I know now. Which brings me to, yeah, I am careful when I share what I'm stitching unless I definitely know where it's come from and it's come from the right people. Because I've been on Facebook pages that are like, nope, that's an illegal copy, you can't have that on here, and then I know some people have been booted from it, but honestly, a lot of us don't know. And I think it's a little bit unfair. You're still putting the work into it, as long as you don't advertise where it's come from. You know, we all want to show off our work just because of our ignorance and not knowing. I don't know, like, I'm not going to talk any more about that, but that is my opinion. So, there's those ones. Okay, I've got got five. Now, in New Zealand, there's one place called, I can't remember what they're called. Hold on, let me have a look. See if they're written on any of these. No, I can't remember what they're called, sorry. Anyway, they were a legit cross-stitch shop. They were in the North Island. I live in the South. Lived in the South. And you could spend some money on this pattern pack where you got 5 patterns, but you had no idea what they were. Now, me being a curious person, because I'm curious. I wouldn't say I'm nosy, but I am curious. When I see something that's a surprise, I'm like, ooh. And it was really cheap too. Because obviously I think they were just getting rid of their last copy, their last patterns they had of that particular picture. So I'd say it's just them getting rid of old stock, and that's why they were that it was fairly cheap. So I guessed my luck, and I got my 5, and I wouldn't stitch any of them. But you know, so I'll show you what they are. These have never been copied. They've been opened once or twice from me looking at them, trying to convince myself to stitch them, and I can't. So they will be going on some swap Facebook pages. I do want to swap them for something I want to stitch. I don't want to sell them. I want to swap them. Because then I can have 5 patterns that I will stitch. So here they are. A little fairy thing. Funny enough, I hadn't seen any of these, and then at the stitching retreat, when there was some shops, a couple people bought merchandise that they sell and set up little stalls. And I actually I didn't see this one, but I saw other ones in the set. So that was the first time I ever saw them, and that was, like, I bought this pack years and years and years ago when I first started stitching. So it says that it has Mill Hill beads. It's got the number on here. It's got the DMC threads listed, which ones you need. Yeah. And I think it requires a metallic thread looking at that, but I'm not sure. So there's that one. And then there's this one. Yeah, just not my cup of tea. Unfortunately, looking at the back of it, when it shows you 2 other ones you could get, I would have stitched the 2 it shows on the back, but I wouldn't stitch this one. So meerkats. Right. Peacock. Not a massive fan of peacocks. This is huge. Well, it's not huge, but yeah. This is, I will open it and tell you how many pages it is. This is 16 pages. Okay, so it's not massive, but if it's something you don't particularly want to stitch, it's big. So yeah, 16 pages. This one, yeah, definitely wouldn't stitch this. I don't particularly like flowers, and it's just, I don't know, just no. So this one is, I'll tell you how many pages. This is a bit bigger than the peacock one. $18 pages. Yeah. And this is by far the biggest one. I see, it's funny. I actually like this. This is the only one in the set I like, but it is. Sorry, my nose always runs in this video. It hasn't for like 2 weeks, but it is now all of a sudden. Are you guys pollen infecting me through the video? I don't know. It's 35 pages. It's not something I like enough to stitch 35 pages. And that's pretty much what it is. I do think it's gorgeous. It's just not something I like enough to stitch 35 pages. That's why I won't do it. Yeah. So, because you guys watch me and are subscribed, if you're not, subscribe below. If you actually do like any of those, and you've seen my videos, so you kind of know what I like to stitch, and you do have an idea of something to swap, let me know. It'll probably take me a week or 2 to even put these up, so that's how long you guys have got. Get in first. You have subscribed, you are watching, thank you so much to those people that do watch me babble and subscribe to me and things like that. So yeah, if you guys do like those, and you go, nope, I really, really love that, I'm in love with that, then you guys will get your first in. So let me know if you do, because you guys have a week or 2 advantage. Anyway, so that's those. That is everything that she brought over for me, excluding the clothes and stuff she brought over for me. Right, now to the stitching retreat. Okay, so, stitching retreat. What did I take with me to the stitching retreat? So, I took my tilt and craft. I did nothing on it. I just took it. Waste of space, really, but the thought was there. Okay, so the other thing I did take was my quotes to live by. Now, this piece caused me a headache. This was horrible. So I got to Milton Keynes on Friday after transport dramas and such, because I'm going from Bristol to Milton Keynes, and it was the first time I've been that far, catching 2 trains, and oh, it was a nightmare. But got there. I think I must have got there at about 3:30 in the afternoon. I left home at 9:30 in the morning, I think. Yeah, it was about 9:30. So I want to get rid of this. I want to finish this piece, and then I can use my thread organizer that I'm using for this for my tilt and craft, and I'm hoping that'll make my tilt and craft confetti hell a lot easier. So, and this has been a work in progress for ages, and it's one I'm keeping, and it's one that means something to me. So yeah, I just want to get it done. So I thought, okay, let's finish the back stitching on this. So I went through and was absolutely fine until I got to the top of this little arrow. And then I tried to match it up with the other side, and it just did not match. And I went, oh dear. Because I'm a bit of a symmetrical person, and I thought I'd screwed up. So I spent the next 2 hours trying to find my mistake, and I asked a few other stitches and they couldn't find it, and then I just got stuck and just stopped. Everything just stopped. And I had enough. After mucking around for ages and just watching what everyone else was stitching and stuff, I went to bed and decided to hopefully find the mistake the next day. It was suggested to me that I leave it and I start doing this bit instead. I don't know, I got it stuck in my head that I had to find my mistake, so I wasted quite a few hours on that Saturday still trying to find it, to work out that this is not symmetrical. These two bits here are not the same. I hadn't made a mistake, they just don't match. And at this point I almost felt like crying because I'd wasted so much stitching time on nothing. But there we go. Clearly it's still upsetting me. So I did move on to this. I hadn't quite finished the side. I just stopped and just did this. After I did this, I matched this up to here. Looking at it now, both sides kind of look like they match enough to not bother me at the moment. So it's all good. The other thing we worked out is my fabric is warped. It is not straight. It will not sit in my Q-snap straight. It'll be fine when it's framed, but I need to remember that every time I look at this and go, that's not straight. It's actually because my fabric's warped. Obviously I pulled it too tight in my Q-snap at one stage, I think, and left it in there for a long time. And I think that's what's done it. But I need to remember that because it's going to happen again where I'll go, that's not right, and then it's the fabric as well. So I have to remember that so I don't make a mistake or anything again. So anyway, I've got to fill in the middle of this. I can't remember what it says off the top of my head, sorry guys. But I am hoping to finish that. So I got this done and I got the outside done, and that's pretty much it. My friend who was sitting at the table, she put it well into my Q-snap. I love Q-snaps, but I'm still struggling to put designs and things into them properly. So she's done this for me. She put this one in my Q-snap for me, and she also fixed my tilt and craft and put that better in the Q-snap for me. So what she does is here, she's folded the side over like that, and that side. She said I need some big butterfly clips, which I will at some stage get for the access. It doesn't matter so much for this one. It does matter for my tilt and craft. I need some butterfly clips because I just have so much fabric there. And this one's been folded under, so it's kind of sitting under there as well. But what I was finding is I had so much access up here, it was holding behind here, and then I was struggling to see my holes because it was black fabric under black fabric. And I just had to kind of keep flicking it over, and it was such a pain. So she saved me a headache, and hopefully that'll get stitched faster now that I don't have to keep doing that. So that was mainly what I worked on. I also started this. So that's how much I've done. I believe I started a little bit on Saturday night, and then I did work on that on Sunday. So yeah, I've just done it a little bit. The doorway and the wraiths, so it's that bit. First time I worked on perforated paper. First time I've done 3 threads, not 2. Initially, I hated the look of it because I've never done 3 threads. I think I'm getting used to how it looks now. I don't know. Still deciding. But most of what I did was chat. I met a whole bunch of new stitchers, new friends, which was really nice. I also had someone at my table that was very distracting. I don't think that helped in getting much stitching done. But that's okay, because I had been pre-warned that you don't get a lot of stitching done at retreats, so that's fine. The table that I was sitting at was in a really good spot. It was next to the freebie table. It was great. I didn't even know there was going to be a freebie table, or I would have put something on it. So yeah, I kind of wish I'd known that was there. I would have put a couple of things on it, but I will next time. So, a few things I picked up from the freebie table. I'm going to show you them first. This one, I'd seen it in the magazine saying upcoming, and I did quite like this. I really like bird cages or the flowers or anything, but there's something about this I actually really liked. So I got that. This one, I looked at this over 3 days and it was still there on the last day, and I was like, okay, I'm still interested in that, so I'm going to pick it up. This one, I will definitely stitch Lady in the Tramp. I'm not sure about the two at the top, but I love Disney. I love bunnies. Not so sure about the person. A lot of you may know the series, Belle and Boo. But definitely the ones with the bunny rabbit. I do plan on stitching at some stage. So I also picked up this. And it comes with a few of them. I really liked this. I hadn't seen it before. I was like, yeah, that's awesome. It's a messy stitching room. I do like that. I can't find the picture right now. This is just my working copy. I haven't started it, but it's going to be my working copy. So I am going to flick it. It is a bossy, I don't know how you say that. Anyway, quick flash. Yeah, foxes. And someone had just finished it at the stitching retreat. And it's gorgeous. I do like woodland type things. So, the other 2 things I got. I am still looking for those 2 magazines. There were so many cross-stitch magazines, but not the 2 I'm looking for. But that's how it goes, isn't it? I kind of figured that would be the case. But that's okay. So, because we could look through these, it made it so much better. I did pick one up where I only like one design in it, but the design in it I absolutely loved. And one of my stitchy friends at the table, because there was about 5 magazines that I liked, but they only had one design in them, and I was saying to her, I was like, I don't want to take these magazines for just that one design, even if they are free. And she said to me, well, have a look at the piece and see how many fractionals are in it, how many French knots and things like that. And I went, oh my gosh, I hadn't even considered that. I went back through them and lots of them had fractionals and French knots, and I didn't like them enough to have to deal with French knots and fractionals. Fractionals are okay, but when you have fractionals and French knots, it kind of makes me go, how much do I like this piece? So a lot of those I ended up not picking up because they were full of all that. But this is one magazine. It's got one design in it. I only liked this one, but I really liked the design. I think that that is gorgeous. And it's got cross stitch, half stitch and back stitch. No fractionals, no French knots. That's why it was I'll definitely take this. So yeah, I did pick that one up for that off the free table. And the other magazine I picked up was, now there is heaps in this one I would stitch, so this is worth it. But the original piece in this that I want to stitch that, there are French knots and fractionals in this one, but I love the design so much and I liked so many other things in this magazine that it was just like, no, I'm getting it. So that is the one I really absolutely loved. Now I'll show you the other things in it I like. This one, I think it's a bit too cutesy for me, but I think I'd still stitch it. It's the only one I'm not sure about. These are adorable. And I think there's another page of them. Yeah. So there are lots of little cottages in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. There are 21 different little cottages in there, along with all these other little cute things. And I just love it. So I'll definitely be doing that one, or doing at least a couple of those. And the last one is called Down by the River. Look at that. I love that. Unfortunately, there's only one picture of that one. So, and just so you know, this magazine is The World of Cross Stitching. That's what the cover looks like. And it is issue 192. 192. The World of Cross Stitching. And the other one, just in case, the one with the boats on it is The World of Cross Stitching, and it's issue number 180. For reference, if you like any of those and decide you have to have them. Okay, so that's that. Right. So, I had a feeling there might be some stitchy shops there, but I wasn't 100% sure. Turns out there was two. I'm just going to see if I can find their business card. I've got both of them. Hold on. Okay, I've got them. So, we had Sparklies. And we had Marnie's Mixed Bag. Now, I hope I've got this right. I think that's Sarah. Or she was at least doing the shop there. I hope I've got that right. Please correct me, someone, if I've got that wrong. These are the only two cards I have. I'm pretty sure this was her. The other one. And Sarah was the one that was in charge of the retreat that I went to. She did an amazing job. Sarah's awesome. Just so let me show you. Yeah, it's very different when you see things in person than when you look at stuff online. all I can say is I was in big trouble. But the first thing I did buy, and I'm really glad I bought it, was, and I can't remember who it was because this was someone different again, I believe. I bought my first scissor keep, and normally I've been like, oh, I don't really need a scissor keep. That's what happened with the needle minders. I didn't need them, and now I've got heaps of them. So we'll see where this goes. But when I saw this just had my name on it, and it screamed at me. Look at that. Now, why do you think I needed that when I saw it? Obviously, it was made for me. Just saying. It was meant to be. It was there, and it was meant for me. So, I absolutely love that. So, my first scissor key. So, I was very happy to find that. Anyway, I have to work out what I bought from what shop. Okay, so from Marnie's, or from Sarah, I brought, okay, so I bought my second Q-snap. The last video I showed you my second Q-snap. I might have a Q-snap addiction. I saw that she had Q-snaps and I went, uh-oh, and bought an 8x8. So I now own a 11x17, I've completely forgotten what the other size is. Might be 11x11, I think, and an 8x8. I now have 3. So I got my Q-snap, and I also brought some beautiful treasure braid. Now I've heard of it. I never owned any, and that's why I bought it, because I was like, I need to own some treasure braid because I just hear about it all the time, but I don't own any. So I bought this colour. The lighting is really shocking because this is really purple. Let me see. It's not helping. It is really purple. It is, I believe it's a BPB65 petite. So I got that. It's not always the easiest to get variegated and the specialty DMC threads. Like, I do find them a little bit hard to find. So, Sarah, or Marnie, mixed bag, they had all the DMC threads. So, I couldn't help it. I bought this one. It's the lighting is shocking. It is fluorescent green. It's E990. Milton DMC, the color variations. So this one is 4215. And another color variation one, DMC 115. And dark and lighter red. I just love that. I did buy those. I also brought I think that was it from her. She had all the threads, and then Sparklies had all the fabrics. So this is where I got in trouble because I could actually see the fabrics, and it was just bad. So I brought Fire. It is 28 casual, and it's an 18 by 27 inch. And I will pull it out and show you. Just dye does not look good on dyed fabric, does not look great online, but when you see them in person, you just fall in love with like all of them, and that's kind of what I did. But I love this. gorgeous. And I did a bit of a, it wasn't intentional. I promise it wasn't intentional. But I just bought the fabrics I just bought because I really liked the colour. There was one more I really liked, but my budget was just like, no, you can't buy anymore. But I will be buying that at some point. So there was that one. And then there was this one. Now there was a few pieces cut specifically for something. But I just liked the fabric, and I was like, I'll just buy the fabric and find something to stitch on it. Again, it's more purple than what it looks. I don't actually know what it is. So sorry about that. But it is still from Sparkly's. I'm sure she'd be able to tell you if you said she got it from the cross stitching retreat, and it was a whole bunch of pieces that were cut specially for something you could make, and she had all the other bits and pieces too, but I just like the fabric because it is sparkly. Yeah, there we go. Anything that sparkles. Not hard to please, really, am I? And the last piece I bought is called Triton. It's 14 count, Ada, 18 by 21 inches. And this piece is pretty. Yeah. So I have no idea what I'm going to stitch on that yet. But I'll find something. I didn't have plans for any of them. I just liked the fabric. Let me put the purple one first. So yeah, that is those. Should have actually got to write down what the purple was. That was silly. If you find out, let me know. Right, I'm just trying to remember. Oh, I did buy some Krennic. Because again, something I've always heard of. Never bought any myself, so I bought some. It's very fine for braid. Number 94. See if I can. 11 meters. Can you focus, please? Anyway, so I bought that. I forgot that was in the bag. It fell out. And then, see, they both had treasure braid, both the shops. And then I found this one. Now this is also purple, but a really light purple. So this is PB 205, petite. So I ended up getting 2 treasure braids, and they're both purple, which is interesting. But a lot of it, there was silvers and golds, and that's just not really my thing. I almost bought the black sparkly one, like almost. So I bought 2 patterns from her. I bought this one. It's called Witch's Gate. It's a Whispered by the Wind. So this is from Sparkly's shop as well. Little did I know that there's actually like Witch's Gates, Wizard's Gate, and I think there was at least a 3rd or 4th one, which could get me in trouble. The only thing is, I didn't want to stitch that on grey. I like the dark colours and everything, but I like being a little bit different, if you've seen some of the stuff I stitch. So, I worked out that fire was the right size. So, this is getting stitched on this, and it's going to give a beautiful sunsetty look. I can't wait to see it on there. And Kate said to me, she said, I want to see that when you've stitched it on that fabric, because she said all the ones she's seen us stitched on the suggested fabric or something very similar. She hasn't seen someone do something drastic like this, so she really wants to see it and she thinks it'll look great. So I have to remember to show her when I've finished. I think that's going to look fantastic. So although I didn't have anything in mind for this, I thought about it, and I do have something that goes on it now. And then my friend at our stitching table decided to further encourage me for a new start by telling me that Stephanie, Marnie's mixed bag, had thread, because I hadn't really looked at the thread when I got the treasure braid and the Q-snap off her. And then she proceeded to tell me how much it was, and because the thread is cheaper than normally it would be, it didn't take much for me to go and get all the colours. So I do have a kitted up cross stitch ready to go, which is kind of exciting if I desperately want to start something and want to do it now. I actually can with this one. So that is really, it is exciting. I can't wait. And the other one I bought, I'm just going to pull the price off here. So I bought one more pattern from Sparkly's, and this is my cup of tea. Might not be other people's. I am a bit Disney and kind of Once Upon a Time orientated, and this one just kind of did it for me. I've never heard of Dragon Dreams, the fairy tale sampler. Also, I believe this is the first sampler I've ever bought. Samplers normally aren't my thing. So this says, once upon a time is how most fairy tales first start. Then add a questing maiden or a knight, so pure of heart. Sometimes there is a treasure, princely frog or magic blade, dangers to be conquered or long journeys to be made. Yet strength and courage triumph to the enemy's chagrin. The questing soul discovers that the hero lies within. And I really love that. So this is probably one for me again, unless I find someone that absolutely loves it. It is DD-43 Fairy Tale Sampler, Canada. Ooh, something about Canada at the moment. So I do wonder if I like some of the other ones. This was the one that stood out for me, but there were some other ones there that I didn't properly look at. So it might be worth checking more out after I've done this one in case I like some of the other ones. I'm not going to show you that. Just having a look. Ooh, there is some beads in here. And crew neck. You know, I hadn't noticed that. There is, yeah, bead, a Mill Hill glass treasure. Overdyed silk. That's gonna be interesting. I should have looked to see what was actually in it. I wonder if I'll be able to find them. I wonder how old this is. I guess that's the main thing, isn't it? Trying to find something to match it, depending on how old something is. I mean, I assume because I bought it from her shop, you can still get it, but it doesn't seem to be. Oh, 2000 to 2003. We'll see how easy that is to find. And then I brought one more thing. We went over to the shop, me and one of the stitchy friends at our table. And I bought a Red Bull, and I happened to look at their magazines. I have a good habit of doing that. Look at the magazines, see if I can find a cross-stitch one. I found one, and it is issue 344, cross-stitcher, June 2019. And there is one design that I bought this for. I looked on the back, and I saw this. Now, I've shown this before. It's my old box. So yeah, of course that design was going to go, eee! And then there's something else in here in Stitch as well after I looked. So I did buy it for that one design. There it is there. And a phone pouch is a pretty cool idea. I think that is what I'll do with it. And the other one of Stitch is this one. Cute. Let me see, I think there's that's a better picture of it. So that is cute. So there's only those two in there that I'd stitch. The free kit I gave to my friend who I walked over to the shop with. It's like a llama. I mean, it was cute, but it wasn't really my thing. The cool thing was it did come with this. But I mean, it's a cactus. So yeah, she liked it. I was going to put it on the free table because she said she wasn't sure about it, and then she saw that it came with that cactus bead, and she's like, "Oh, it's actually quite cute. I think I will have that." So yeah, she kept that. Oh, and they had a raffle. The money went to, I think it was a cancer charity. I really should remember that. But I don't like carrying cash, and I had some cash. So I decided to spend all my cash on raffle tickets. So I bought 6. My number got drawn out twice. So people bought things for the raffle table. Yeah, I didn't do that either. I guess I didn't do enough research prior to going, because I probably would have bought something for it as well. But anyway, by the time my number got drawn out, there were a lot of, because that was next to the freebie table, so we could see the raffle table too where we were sitting, and there was a lot of things on that table that I was like, oh, that'd be cool, that'd be cool, that'd be cool. I did get one of the things that I wanted off that table, and that is these Weeks Dye Works. So this one is 1,282, and it's called Ocean. Oops. And that was part of the Floss collection. So this second one is part of the holiday collection, and it's 4,149, and it's called Beachcomber. Now again, I saw them on the table and I wanted them because I have heard lots about Weeks Dye Works, but I'd never bought any, I'd never owned any. So now I do. The other one I did like was, I can't remember what the brand name was, but it was Silks, and it was another one that I'd heard of, and I've never stitched with silk, so that was another one. But yeah, it's just nice to have some specialty threads, even if you don't really know what you're using them for or anything. I keep hearing like Weeks Dye Works and Treasure Braid and Krennic and things mentioned, and I was like, I have to get in there and add them into my experience. Something weird like that. And the last thing, I had to stitch a letter for I don't have to. I volunteered to stitch a letter for part of the retreat, the Milton Keynes retreat, is they're going to do a big banner. And people picked a letter and they stitched it. It had to be on 8x8 fabric, but that was the only instruction. It didn't have to be a certain count, a certain colour, anything. Just had to be on 8x8 piece of fabric. So I've stitched mine, and I am concerned that it's too small. I have sent her a photo. At the moment she hasn't got back to me about if it's too small, but I did ask her. I said, can I send you a photo? I'm worried it's too small. And she's like, yeah, sure, go for it. I haven't heard back yet. I hope not, because I am happy with what I've stitched and it's cute, but I do think it's too small, and I don't know if I can bring myself to pick it out yet. But here it is. I chose I. So I am worried that that is too small. But we'll see. I'll let you know when I find out. That is everything. Thank you for sitting through an hour and 10 minutes of me. I am hoping to be a bit more motivated on stitching and stuff, and get a few more things done. So hopefully I have a few things to show you next time. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe below. And hopefully I'll put a video up next week or the week after. It does depend on how much I get done. If I don't get much done, then there's no point in me doing another video, is there? But happy bank holiday for those in the UK. And I hope you all had a good Easter. I can't remember if I did a video after that or not. Have a good next few weeks. Keep stitching. If you have the chance to go to a stitching retreat, go. Because they're addictive and amazing. And if you've never been to one, you haven't lived as a stitcher. Just saying. And I am hoping to possibly get some money down for at least next April's one. Maybe. Depends if I have the money together and stuff. But anyway, a few things to let me know about in the comments, and say hi, please. I haven't watched much FlossTube for quite a while. I've just been busy, and I think I've overwatched it a bit, and that's what happens. I just quit it cold turkey. Anyway, I'm gonna go and stitch. So have fun stitching. And if you're from the retreat and you're checking in first time, hi! And thank you for watching and checking me out. Anyway, if there's anything more you want me to talk about or know about for next time, or if there's a particular stitch you want to look at in more detail, or anything about the miniature dollhouse, whatever, let me know, because I want to know what you guys want me to talk about. So yeah, bye!